The rain was coming down in sheets that night in downtown Chicago, the kind that soaks through a $1,000 coat in seconds and turns the city lights into smeared watercolor. Alexander Harrington stood frozen under the awning of his favorite Michelin-starred restaurant, keys to his matte black Maybach dangling uselessly in his hand. He had just closed a 9-figure deal, the kind that gets written about in Forbes, and was supposed to be celebrating. Instead, he couldn't move. 10 feet away, huddled against the brick wall of a closed pharmacy, sat a girl who couldn't have been older than 17. Wet brown hair stuck to her cheeks. Her hoodie, once gray, now almost black with grime, was pulled tight around her thin frame. In her lap were 2 babies, both crying softly, wrapped together in a single threadbare blanket that had more holes than wool. She was rocking them, whispering something Alexander couldn't hear over the rain, kissing their heads one after the other like a tired mother bird. He had seen homeless people before. He had stepped over them, around them, past them for years. Chicago had thousands. But something about this girl cracked the ice around his heart like a sledgehammer. She looked up. Their eyes met. She didn't flinch or look away the way most people did when they realized who he was. Instead, she shifted the babies higher against her chest, stood up on shaky legs, and walked straight toward him. The closer she got, the younger she seemed. 15. 16. The streetlight caught the purple bruise blooming under her left eye. When she was 2 feet away, she stopped. Rain dripped from her lashes. "Do you want one, sir?" she asked, voice hoarse but steady. "I can't keep both warm anymore. Just take one. Please." Alexander felt the world tilt. He had everything. Penthouse on the Gold Coast. Private jet. A walk-in closet bigger than most apartments. A company worth $3 billion. And in that moment he had never felt more bankrupt. The babies were tiny, maybe 6 or 7 months old. Twins, he realized. Identical little red faces, identical cries. One had a little pink bow taped crookedly into what little hair she had. The girl must have found it somewhere and put it there so people would know she was a girl. "I said," the girl repeated, louder now, tears mixing with the rain, "do you want one? They're good babies. They don't cry much. I can't do it tonight. It's too cold." Alexander opened his mouth and nothing came out. Behind him, his driver had stepped out of the car and was watching, unsure what to do. A couple leaving the restaurant stopped under their umbrella, staring. Someone pulled out a phone. Alexander found his voice. "What's your name?" "Lily," she said, like it didn't matter. "Please, sir. Pick one." "I'm not taking one of your babies," he said, the words scraping his throat. "They're not mine," she whispered. "They're my sister's. She OD'd 3 days ago in a shelter bathroom. They were in a cardboard box next to her. Someone called DCS but they said it'll be days before they can come get them, maybe longer. I couldn't leave them." Her voice cracked. "I'm 15. I ran from my last foster home 6 months ago. I got nothing. No formula. No diapers. The shelter won't let me in with 2 infants if I don't have custody. I'm trying, sir. I swear I'm trying." One of the babies started wailing louder. Lily bounced them desperately. Alexander felt something break open inside his chest, something he didn't even know was still there. He took off his cashmere coat, the one that cost more than most people make in a year, and wrapped it around Lily and the babies without thinking. She flinched at first, then sagged against the warmth. "Come with me," he said. She stared at him, terrified. You're not gonna call the cops." "I'm not calling anyone until you and these babies are warm and fed." He opened the back door of the Maybach himself. Lily hesitated only a second before climbing in, clutching the twins like they were the only solid thing left in her world. The driver raised an eyebrow but said nothing as Alexander slid in beside her. "Take us home, Marcus," Alexander said quietly. "And turn the heat all the way up." The ride was silent except for the soft snuffling of the babies. Lily kept looking out the window like she expected the car to turn around any second and dump her back on the street. When they reached the private elevator to his penthouse, she froze again. "This is yours," she whispered. "Tonight it's ours," he said. Inside, the floor-to-ceiling windows looked out over the entire glittering city. Lily stood dripping on Italian marble, clutching the babies, afraid to move. Alexander called his housekeeper, Mrs. Delgado, who appeared in her robe and took one look at the girl and the infants and went straight into crisis mode without a single question. Within minutes there were warm bottles, diapers that actually fit, soft blankets, and a fire roaring in the rarely used fireplace. Lily sat on the plush white sofa like she was scared it would bite her. She fed the babies in turns, tears rolling silently down her cheeks the whole time. Alexander watched from the doorway, still in his soaked shirt, feeling like the biggest fraud on earth. When the twins finally fell asleep in a makeshift bassinet made from a drawer lined with cashmere throws, Lily looked up at him. "Why are you doing this?" she asked. "Rich people don't, they don't just take in random street kids." Alexander sat across from her. He thought about lying, about saying something noble. Instead he told the truth. 14 years ago I had a daughter, he said. With a woman I wasn't married to. I paid her to go away. Gave her enough money to disappear. I was 29 and climbing, and a baby didn't fit the plan. I never even held her. His voice was rough. I don't even know if she's alive. I never looked. Every day since then I've told myself it was the smart choice. Tonight I saw you holding those two babies like your life depended on it, and I realized I've been the poorest man in this city for 14 years. Lily stared at him for a long time. I don't want your money, she said finally. I know. I'm not giving them up. I know that too. Weeks turned into months. Alexander hired the best family law attorneys in the country. Lily didn't want to give the twins up for adoption, she wanted to raise them herself. She wanted to finish school. She wanted to be their mother, even if she was only 15. The lawyers said it was impossible. Alexander told them to make it possible. He turned the guest wing into an apartment for Lily and the twins, Mia and Noah, she had named them. He hired tutors. A pediatrician on call. A therapist for Lily, who woke up screaming some nights from memories she still wouldn't talk about. The media went insane when the story leaked. Billionaire adopts teen mom and her dead sister's twins. The headlines were brutal. Some called him a saint. Others called him a creep trying to buy redemption. He ignored all of it. Lily graduated high school 2 years later with honors. She started community college while Mia and Noah learned to walk in a penthouse bigger than any home they would ever remember. Alexander was there for every first step, every birthday. He never missed a parent-teacher conference, even when it meant rescheduling board meetings in Tokyo. One night, when the twins were 4 and Lily was 19 and about to transfer to Northwestern, they all sat on the terrace watching the fireworks over Navy Pier. Mia climbed into Alexander's lap and patted his cheek with sticky fingers. I love you, Daddy, she said, the way she had every night for the last 2 years. Alexander's eyes filled. He looked over at Lily, who was watching with a small smile. Thank you, he whispered to her across the blanket. She shook her head. No. Thank you. For not taking just one. He laughed through the tears. Never, he said. Never just one. Sometimes the greatest wealth isn't measured in bank accounts or skyscrapers. Sometimes it's measured in the number of small hands you refuse to let go of when the rain is coldest. And sometimes redemption doesn't come from giving money. It comes from finally being willing to receive love you never earned and don't deserve. If this story moved you even a little, hit that like button. It tells YouTube to show it to more people who need to hear that it's never too late to choose kindness. And if you're not subscribed yet, join the family. We tell stories that remind us what really matters. Turn on notifications so you never miss one. See you in the next one.